Hi, it's Leontine from Little Lovely Crafts. Today I'm back with another unicorn card, but this time they're having fun on the beach. The initial idea was to make a magnetic card that makes the unicorn surf on the ocean, but the magnet part didn't work, so I went with a piece of acetate instead. I've already stamped everything I need and I die cut the large stitched rectangle stackables. I did 2 on white cardstock and 2 out of the Mermaid lawn fawn cardstock. I used the stitched wave borders on my ocean and the stitched hillside border on the beach, but in hindsight that wasn't necessary because it's going to get covered up by my wave. However, I decided to leave that part in the video because it shows you all of the steps that I took to make this card. I'm placing those 2 mermaid cardstock pieces on my card base and I am going to measure how high my stitched wave can be. I'm trying to get the most out of my cardstock so I don't waste anything and so that my wave is high enough for my entire scene. Here I decided I wanted my wave to roll onto the beach, and so I am die cutting that part out of it as well. And then I'm just playing around to see what look I like best. And I decided to go with the look of the wave coming onto the beach. You might recognize that chocolate unicorn from a previous card of mine. I'm using it with the magnet as I initially intended, but as you know, I changed that idea later on in the video. I love using Merman ink on the edges of my ocean, and I will use some Yeti ink on the part that touches the beach because I wanted to recreate that foamy look that a wave has when it rolls onto the sand. For the sand I'm using antique linen, tea dye and brushed corduroy, and you will just see me use it as I did in previous cards. I start with the lightest color and put the darker colors on the edges, and I also used the darkest colors to make some splatters on it. After cleaning my glass media mat, it's time to make my background, and for the sky I'm using tumbled glass and salty ocean. As I was looking at this card, or the start of this card, I remembered our honeymoon on the Bahamas, and so I needed some palm trees to set the scene, and I used Hammock and Trees for that. I made these palm trees a while ago, but I didn't use them on that card, so I'm going to use them now. I decided to only go with the cilantro palm trees. And now it's time to do some coloring. If this part doesn't interest you very much, please feel free to just skip ahead. I'm putting some white gel pen accents on all of my stamps and then I am die cutting them. I wanted to stamp Have a Magical Summer and I used On the Beach and Unicorn Picnic stamps for this. I will be heat embossing it later, but first I want to attach all of my stamps as much as I can and then I know where my sentiment can go. Instead of using glue, I'm using a tape runner because I might need to pick it up if I make a mistake or if I want to put something underneath it. I'm not attaching this part yet because my interactive element is going behind it and I don't know how or where it's going to be, so I'm waiting with attaching it. What I can do is attach all of my stamps on it, so the beach towel, the unicorns, and for the surfboard I had a different idea. I wanted to make a little slot in the sand so it actually seems like the surfboard is standing in the sand. In order to die cut it, I only die cut the edge of my card because I didn't want to damage the stamps that I had already glued onto my paper. I used sandy beach accents, by the way. And this is why I'm happy I didn't use glue on my waves, because this little guy is going for a swim. Now that I know where everything is glued, I can work on my sentiment. I am using my anti-static powder tool first and then I am using my stamps. I'm having a little trouble lining them up, but I get there in the end. I'm using some clear ink and then white embossing powder. Onto my interactive element. As you know, I wanted to do something with a magnet, but the ones that I had were either too bulky or made the unicorn go in circles, and it just wasn't what I expected of it. So I decided, why not do something a little more simple and get some firm acetate behind it. In order to make that work, I only needed to put some foam tape on the edges of my beachy scene, and then the unicorn could move around behind them or between them. I'm using a little Scor-tape on my acetate because in my experience it seems to hold a lot better than just glue. Sorry if I keep playing with it, but it just reminds me of one of those shadow puppet theaters. And this is the foam tape I was talking about. It's 2 millimeters thick and I'm only putting it around the outer edges. And I will also put a few foam pieces on my palm trees so they can rest on something. That will also work as a stopper for the unicorn that is surfing around. I'm snipping off the pieces of the palm tree that I don't need. And then I will work on my background. I'm using some really rainbow petite paper, and then I will glue that onto my card base. I want to make a sort of compartment where the unicorn is hiding inside the card, and I thought what would be more perfect than the Let's Toast Pull Tab add-on piece, and I used that. And at first I used the glue tab underneath, but then my acetate would get caught on it, so what I did was attach that glue tab on top of it, and then your acetate doesn't get stuck behind it. It's hard explaining it in English. I hope you understand what I mean. Again, I'm using some Scor-tape for this because it's really sturdy and it doesn't make a mess. With the unicorn inside, you could write a little note saying they could take the unicorn out and go for a surf, and then once they're done playing they can put it back inside again. And that finishes up my card. Thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon to get notified for new videos, and give my video a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope I've been able to take you to a sunny beach. Have a lovely day and hope to see you soon. Bye!